The coach take the Lincoln Tunnel through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium at East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Hey, what's that? Check right 54. Right 54. You go night-night. Some go night-night. Motion, motion, motion.
Right there, 54, right there, right there.
A first carry for Trenton Cannon. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you look fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
They'll run on first down with Cannon, and that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss of 2 there, second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
You go set. 55. Check 55. Mike. I'm coming.
On second and 12, Darnold. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that.
And he's going to go down again. Jerome Baker in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it'll be Dolphin football. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Mike, 53. 53. Mike.
2nd and 11. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yep.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try and at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Here we go, son. 55. Pick me up. Here we go. Hey, son.
On first down, Cannon. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Watch it, lady.
On second down, this is Cannon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Colby Listenby, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they're looking at a second down and 9 to go.
Let's go, dude. Mike, 53. 53. Mike. 3 bucks.
Second and 9 now. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
From the 29, Darnold throwing middle, and it's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Big Sears right here.
They'll run on first down. It's Cannon, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At their 48-yard line.
Go set.
Let's go, D. Single, 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 single. Here I come. Hey, lady. Coming after you, 25.
Darnold now to throw. And that is incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Joker, 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 joker.
Young lady.
54. Mike's 54. I got one, I got one. Mike's 5'4", Mike's 5'4", Mike's 5'4". Hey, me and you all day, all day. I'm coming, lady. I'm coming after you.
And Darnold just beating the play clock. Looking here for Smith downfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Let's go,
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll run it right side with Cannon. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
The Jets on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. To throw is Darnold. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 22-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Check. Fresno.
Protein spill. And the ball. 2.
Back to throw. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He'll rifle this one deep right. That's caught at the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jakeem Grant, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and we are even at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Darnold. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Right there. 54. Right there.
Lady.
All day. Just like that. Just like that. Mike.
Back to throw, Darnold. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Right here. Bravo. Hey, stand up.
Back to throw now on first down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Hey, Charlie.
After the interception, here's Darnold. Carrying it out deep for Smith. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he finds Parker here, complete. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Hey, lock it. Bud.
Here's 2nd and 8. Going deep here for Parker. Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker in the final seconds of the first half. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. So they're able to break the tie just before halftime. Now they just don't want anything crazy to happen on the ensuing kickoff.
Yeah, they want to just add the extra point, get the kickoff taken care of, and get to the locker room with the lead that they fought so hard to get.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Ready. 70, Indy.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Open man, it's Preston Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. They run it with Balaj. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run here with Balaj. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Second and 1. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Balaj. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and they double them up here. That makes our score 20-10. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
Now Balaj. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. They'll set up to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. So 3 field goals that he's hit. Now this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go. At their own 26-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
2nd and 2 at the 35-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Watch it.
One more time, it's Cannon. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Watch the whip. Check 31. Check 31.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score Dolphins 23, Jets 10.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches.
Two draw quarters. Out. Hey, watch it.
On the carry, it's Cannon. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Ready? You ready?
Back to Cannon again on first down. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Check 54. Right 54. Here we go. Check 37. Check 37.
On 2nd down now, it's Cannon. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Time. 54, right there. Hey, 3 buzz.
On 1st and 10, Darnold gets it to his running back, Cannon. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Mike 55.
Let's set it. Hey, high 7.
Now Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is picked. The pressure gets to him again. Christian Wilkins. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And here we go on fourth. Darnold. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. On first down, Cannon. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Here's Darnold. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. And no, it's incomplete. The Jets try it, but the fourth down play doesn't work. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away. Clock's definitely on your side. And, you know, when we talk about analytics in the game, what is this one? Advanced win metrics? Because if you take care of the football here, bleed the clock down, were they about 95% chance of winning?
Yeah, I'd say 95 or better. And I know you always say it, every coach does. It's just protecting the football at this point.
And knowing that the defensive guys, they're coming after the ball more than they are the person. They want to knock it free.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It's taken to the 26. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just under pressure now. Darnold, and he goes down. Corey Littleton in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. A gain there of 21 yards. Two important parts to that play. One, you get a first down, obviously. Charles, 2, managed to get out of bounds.
Love the way you dissected that, but he threw it in the middle of the field. So they picked up the first down, but he had to work his way to the sideline to stop the clock. What a great effort.
Now it's Darnold. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And he will find his man on the outside. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
On 2nd and 10, Darnold, this is caught. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. Darnold. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Breanne Bonnie Calhoun. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's 1 timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Miami, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they go down to defeat for just the 2nd time in 11 games so far. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.